signal from my man behind the glass, even though we don't have that here. We're using technology to our advantage. Basically, welcome back. It's episode 22 of Just Critting Around, the Christian McCaffrey episode. If you were around last week and you heard it, we dubbed it a week in advance, and that's what it is, all right? No changing it now. We had a busy week in sports. I mean, fairly good NFL week. Kyrie Irving going on First Take, and obviously the big fight, which, shout out to your boy, I streamed it for the 10 people that like me on Instagram. So 10 people got a free fight if they wanted it.
How long did that last? Like
it was a little bit.
The
whole fight.
Nice.
Yeah, I did the whole fight. So
I was one of those 10 people.
Yeah, Diggs was there. Shout out to you.
All right.
Other than that, and then we'll get into some college football recap. But I'm going to toss it over to my co-host, the OG duo. We're back. I guess the trio, because the man with no face down there, Aaron Diggs. But how you doing over there in Oklahoma City, Justin?
I'm not in Oklahoma City exactly.
But look,
if you want to keep referring, if you want to keep referring to me in OKC, then you can keep doing that. But we're good, man. We're good. I'm chilling. I got my Dunder Mifflin shirt on. Shout out to the office.
Selling, office supplies.
Right. We got to sell the papers. So, no, I'm doing good, man. I'm enjoying the football season tremendously. Can't ask for more so far. I mean, just maybe a few tougher, more competitive games, but for the most part, I think it's been great.
What about you, Diggs?
Well, I am not enjoying the football season, but I'm doing pretty well. I'm not bad. I can't complain.
I don't blame you, though. But Brissett looks okay. He looks okay.
He looked good. It's just that
y'all should have won
defense,
that
man.
game, right?
Yeah, you can see the youth in our defense in the second half, because we don't have Vontae or Clayton Gathers, just missing players all over.
Well, since you got into the week 2 recap, we'll start there. Just some notable things that happened this week. We have Marshall Yanda, who's done for the season, all-pro guard from the Ravens. Really, really excellent player, especially on the interior of that line. Sam Bradford surprisingly came up and missed a game. He had a sore, whatever knee he's hurt. Yeah, whatever knee. The same one that he tore his ACL twice in. So for all you fantasy owners that had Stephon Diggs and he decided to play him, I'm sorry, because I was one of those. But I still won. Greg Olsen, this one's near and dear to my heart. My man broke his foot somehow, just running. He was just running and his foot snapped. So he's gone for 8 weeks. He's on IR. And then we'll get into buying or selling Kareem Hunt and then the Falcons. But what I want to start with first, and I'll throw it over to you, Justin, is what is your takeaway from week 1 or week 2 now that we've seen 2 full weeks?
So one takeaway that's I would guess be on many people's minds is when you look at the Giants after the first week, you thought, man, the Cowboys, they didn't miss a beat. They're the new offense, they didn't hand the ball off as much. Dak was playing well, but it was actually, I think the Giants might just be that bad after week 2. I think that kind of sums up week 2 as far as the Giants, the NFC, that division.
They just can't block anybody is really what it is.
Yeah.
And they don't have a running game. So, and Eli he's not the Eli of old, but who are you going to get now? You're stuck with Eli. Nobody's going to be better than him. It's just, I don't know. A lot of people will pick them for some reason to win the division / go to the Super Bowl. And I'm really sad that Matt's not here to defend his team.
That might be why he's not here.
Yeah, I don't know. He was ducking and dodging us ever since the game. So
yeah, but they don't look that good. Another takeaway from week 2, I think Stafford is for real, kind of like what we talked about last week.
Hey man, that top 3 ranking might have done us justice. We might have set him on this path.
Yeah, they're like who at the beginning of this season said that Stafford was a top 3 quarterback,
and we're going to be atting every single person. Right, raise our hand. It was us 3. Not even Matt wasn't here.
So he was good. The Raiders, I still, they played the Jets, so I can't really say too much. But they're for real. But they're gonna have a big test this week. I think they play.
They play the Redskins, don't they?
Yeah, that's right. The Redskins. That's what I was looking at. I don't know if that's a big test, but I think it'd be on the East Coast. So yeah, I think I would say that's a big test for them. No, what do you say?
You have any takeaways, Diggs? Takeaways?
I want to say the Cardinals do not look good.
No,
I didn't. I was surprised. I really thought they were going to be good this year, and
I mean,
They're not.
it seems like that whole NFC West, maybe outside of Seattle, just because they already have a good defense, is in rebuild mode. Because, I mean, that offensive line in Seattle is trash. So they should, by default, win. But everybody else there, I mean, the Rams look decent. They don't look, I mean, like, they still have a little bit of ways to go, obviously, before they can compete. But all in all, yeah, I agree with you. The Cardinals, who knows what happened to them? I mean, literally overnight, it seems like. I mean, honestly, you know what it reminds me of? The Carson Palmer's downfall almost kind of reminds me of the Jake Delhomme downfall. So Jake Delhomme was really, really good. Went into the playoffs, was good that whole year, went to the playoffs and had that one bad game against the Cardinals, oddly enough, and threw like 4 or 5 picks. And he literally was never the same after that. It's like his arm gave out before the playoffs. And I mean, Carson Palmer looks to be in the same boat. I mean, against us in the playoffs, not last year, but the year before. I mean, he lost them the game basically. So
I've never been a Palmer fan, to be honest. It's just I saw him at UFC. I thought he was going to be a decent quarterback, but that's just not what I thought he was going to be a decent quarterback.
Yeah, I know. He ended up being a pretty decent pro. I mean, he had his years, his moments.
Yeah.
He's in Cincy. He was very good. But
yeah,
I think if I have any takeaways from this week, I don't really know. I mean, like you said, I agree with you with the Stafford thing. Most impressive numbers are, I mean, he only threw for 122 yards, but that's because, surprisingly enough, against what is the Giants' strength, their supposedly strength front seven, they ran the ball very, very well, so he didn't have to throw the ball. But on third downs, he was 8 for 10, 2 touchdowns. What was it? 6? Yeah, like literally, he was just making the right plays at the right times.
Yeah.
And ever since Jim Caldwell's got there with Jim Bob Cooter, they look to be a new team. So they could be for real, but obviously it's still early in the season. Another team, like I mentioned in the opening, are we buying or are we selling the Falcons? I mean, they had a really good start. I mean, they obviously blew out the Packers and they got garbage time points, but
they didn't look that great against the Bears. So
right,
that's
exactly.
You gotta take into account.
And they were at home in their new stadium, so juices were definitely flowing.
Yeah.
So I don't know. In my personal opinion, it's a give and take. I feel like the media, because I mean, all we're hearing today and yesterday is, wow, the Falcons are for real. They beat Aaron Rodgers and the Packers, blah, blah, blah. Who, by the way, are notorious for getting off the slow starts, have a terrible defense. Like, it's not like it's that bad. It's just Aaron Rodgers didn't do what Aaron Rodgers does. I don't know. It's too early for me to say if I'm buying or selling them because, like you mentioned, when they played the Bears, they looked terrible, and that's on the road. And you got to win on the road to win in the NFL. And when they're at home, I mean, they look good. So I got to give it another week, and let's see what they do in division play. Another takeaway is the despair in New Orleans. What is going on there? AP needs to get away out of there or something. I don't know why he decided to go there in the first place, but New Orleans looks terrible.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
They look, like it's bad. It looks like a Madden player is controlling them.
You used to be able to just count on their offense, but like their offense just isn't even really that good now.
No.
I mean, they traded away Brandon Cooks, and now what do they have?
Yeah. And even with Brandon Cooks last year, it was their offense you could tell it was kind of on the decline. Yeah. And I just, that's what, when you thought of the New Orleans Saints, that's what you thought of is
offense.
Great offense. Drew Brees, Sean Payton. So I'm definitely, I just don't know what's going on down there in Louisiana.
So are we buying or are we selling Kareem Hunt is the real question. That's been the hottest player so far, basically, since week 1. I mean, honestly, he's the only one that's consistently through 2 games put up big numbers and look like a superstar, even though he's a rookie. I mean, we see him getting 9 carries.
I'm definitely buying him.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy just because of what he did to the Eagles. Yeah. That front line is no joke.
Right.
And I'm buying just the Chiefs as a whole because Alex Smith is doing more than game managing now. Alex Smith is kind of opening up the toolbox, he's throwing the ball, he's pushing it down the field. He's still not making mistakes. I mean, it's early on, of course, but even without Eric Berry, I mean, the Chiefs are for real. They have weapons at every position, especially on offense. And that defensive line is obviously still nasty. And they have one of the best coaches in Andy Reid. So I think I'm with you guys. We got to buy Kareem Hunt. if you got him in fantasy, he's an instant start. He's got to be he's definitely the number one running back right now. But
and it seems like his running style is not going to get him too prone to injury, or
right.
He's not going to be too prone to injury like Adrian Peterson. That's why I was
he's
always
fast, man.
Scared because of his upright running style. Yeah.
Another buy. I'll say Carson Wentz looks good, man.
He does look good.
He looks good. Yeah, you can see that he's just going to get better. But
yeah, and especially under the quarterback guru per se of Doug Peterson. So, I mean, he's still got a lot to learn. He's a young QB, but all in all, I mean, I'm with you right up. I mean, they ended up losing to what is probably going to be the best team in the league this year.
Yeah.
So, not too much stock to be taken in that one. I think just to bring it, full circle here, the Panthers. I mean, obviously we mentioned Greg Olsen going out, and that's a big injury because 3 straight seasons of 1,000 yards. He's our leading receiver. He's like the security blanket for Cam Newton. I think this hinders Cam Newton a little bit, but I also think Cam Newton kind of got a lot of unwarranted hate. I mean, we came out with a W, and it could have been better. He missed a wide open throw to McCaffrey, but he came out. He was looking sharp. I don't know. He also played his defensive coordinator, who knows for the past 4 years, who knows every weakness of him, and he started bringing the blitz when our center. First of all, did you guys know that Ryan Khalil sat out the game on Sunday because he slept on his neck wrong?
What?
Yes, our starting center sat out the game because he had a crick in his neck.
Bro, get him out.
Bro, I'm saying.
Take your bags.
Do you not have a chiropractor that can just snap you real quick, get you aligned, and then you're good to go? You're in the NFL, my man.
Right.
What time?
Justin, you gotta send him that massager you have, man.
He'll fix him up.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That's bad. That's like when Kobe Bryant hurt his back for when he was vacuuming. But I mean, he played the next day. But it was just kind of funny. It's like, what is Kobe Bryant doing vacuuming?
Right, hire somebody. But, yeah, all in all, my biggest takeaway though from week 2, which is what I wanted to get to, is the amount of low-scoring games we're seeing. It's in a league, that's predicated towards the offensive side of the ball now, especially with rules and everything like that. We're seeing less and less scoring. It's like the defense is caught up, or
they're letting DBs play more too.
They are.
I watched the Denver, Dallas game, and there was so much physicality going on down the field.
Des Bryant has lost step, hasn't he?
Yo, he has, and that's what we talked about too. He's like done. Like he's peaked. Yeah. He's 29. I thought he was like 32.
He looks like an old guy. Like he looks like Jericho Cotchery or something out there.
Right. He should be in his prime for a couple more years, and no.
We see Zeke. Zeke's blowing up like a Teletubby, so they must be eating good down there.
Right, dude. They're no workout. It's like we're gonna just eat.
You think Zeke maybe thought he wasn't gonna play because those pictures are kind of telling?
Oh, he was definitely getting some food therapy because he didn't think he was gonna play. So
that's crazy.
Yeah, he's not in shape. Maybe that's why they didn't run that much against the Giants week 1.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I feel like we're going to see more and more of it coming out, you know what I mean? Because it's only week 2 still. I keep saying that and harping on it. But it's still a long way to go in the season. It's kind of early reactions from us in the media. But that's what we do. That's our job.
That's what
that's our amateur job, all right? We judge, we critique, and we talk.
Yeah. So who's been y'all's biggest surprise so far?
Team-wise or player-wise?
Player-wise.
It's got to be Kareem Hunt.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Kareem Hunt, or I'm trying to think of somebody that's not obvious.
I'm surprised. I mean, Marshawn, what was his yardage? But I mean, he's played like I didn't think he was just going to come back and play like this after a year off. But I mean, it is a running back.
I mean, it helps his body recover.
Yeah,
just going to get back to the speed of it. I think I'm kind of surprised with Abdullah staying healthy. And, I mean, he ran it 21 times, 88 yards on one of the better defensive front seven. So, if they can do that more and more, I think they were setting themselves up for this week, kind of. They're about to play who are they? They play on Thursday, don't they?
Who plays on Thursday?
No.
That would be way too short. But they play on Sunday. Who do they play? The Lions. They play somebody good. We'll put it that way.
I got you.
Yeah, look it up for me. But all in all, I'm surprised with him. I mean, he's been hurt the past 2 years, and to finally see him at least kind of workhorse it. And the Lions, the reason they're for real is they're not the best team on paper at all, flashy at all. But they just
Falcons.
Yeah,
that's gonna be.
It's a big game.
Big game.
But right here, you're hearing it from a fantasy guru crit. If you have Matthew Stafford, play him against the Falcons because it's going to be a shootout.
Yeah, it's going to definitely be a shootout.
Right. The Falcons will score on them, and they will have to answer back. And in order for them to answer, they have to throw the ball, and Matthew Stafford will be doing that. So I don't know. Amir Abdullah, that's my biggest takeaway, maybe my biggest surprise. I mean, at least from last week, maybe not overall in the season. If he can keep that up, I think the Lions will be for real. And because like I was saying, they're not the flashiest or the best team on paper, but they just know their personnel and they play within their personnel so well.
I like watching them now. Yeah. It's crazy. I'm a 49ers fan, but I mean, I realize I know what our destination is going to be this year. I know we're not going to win a Super Bowl. So like to have a team like the Lions that are kind of on the outside, they're not the favorite. That's kind of a team that you root for, being a fan of a team that's not going to make it to the playoffs. So
being a 49ers fan, what do you root for? Are you rooting for the QB? Is that what you're doing now? Do you want who do you want out of the QB? That's what you guys are going to go. You're going QB.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I thought there was we'd potentially get Kirk Cousins last year before they franchise tagged him. So, I mean, I know we need a QB in order to take the next step. And right now it's just, solidifying the defense. We still got to cure up some things in the secondary. And on the offensive end, Carlos Hyde, when healthy, has been great. But we got to get a few targets out there for him. So, I mean.
But as a fan, since you will be getting a QB in the top 3 picks or whatever you guys pick, which one would you like to see land there?
Baker Mayfield.
Come on. We know he's not going top 3. You know how the NFL is, man. I know how they are.
I know, but you got to look at Johnny Manziel, and Johnny Manziel was faster. But as far as manipulating the pocket and get
I don't think you want to compare him to Johnny Manziel when talking to NFL.
Yeah,
and I love Johnny Manziel.
Not that part, but I'm just saying Johnny Manziel, that type of quarterback, was drafted high.
No, he was, but you guys are going to be in the top 3 picks. You're not going to waste that on it. You're going to go with a Rosen or a Darnold.
Sam Darnold did look nice last week for a little in the clutch.
Clutch, but that's how he always looks. He looks good in the clutch.
Yeah. We'll get to that. To be honest, if I had to pick between Rosen and a Darnold, it'd be Darnold all day. I think he's there in Southern Cal. What he was able to do in that Texas game was really impressive, and the last minutes and in overtime. He did a really great job. So I would say Sam Darnold. But, I mean, being an OU fan, it would just be awesome if Baker Mayfield went there.
You're buying his jersey day one.
Right.
Buy me one, too, when he does that. So do you have anything else to add, Diggs, or are we going to move on?
I think we're going to move on now.
All right. We're going to get into the hands business. The people who throw the gloves, the mittens.
So explain some of this to me because I didn't get to see the fight.
Okay. So in what is kind of a once-in-a-lifetime fight, but they're going to end up fighting again because it was a split decision.
Is that why it was a split decision?
I mean, it's possible. There's a lot going on behind the scenes. Triple G versus Canelo. If it wasn't for McGregor-Mayweather, this would have been the fight of a while. More casuals would have watched. But it turned out to be – I watched it, like I said in the intro, and streamed it, and it turned out to be one of the – better fights that I've seen. The two styles were very, very contrasting. Canelo came out strong in the first 4 or 5 rounds, and then after that, Triple G hit his "I'm not gonna stop coming at you" mode. And I kid you not, Justin. Have you ever seen Triple G fight?
I've seen some highlights. I haven't seen a full fight. Dude,
in a full fight, this is what he does. He'll get so Canelo was going back to the ropes because he's a counter puncher, so he's going to let him come to him a little bit. And he was kind of gassed after those first 4 rounds because he was putting the hands on Triple G at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So he kind of did the opposite of a Floyd Mayweather. He went after and attacked. Even though
So he kind of McGregored Triple G at the beginning, but he's a better fighter, obviously. So he was giving him the combos, the hands, and then Triple G, I mean, he kept shaking them off. You know, they were both kind of showboating throughout the time. And Canelo would go up on the ropes and just like dodge his punches, like come at me, throw them, and I'm just going to dodge them. But the thing with Triple G is he throws so many punches and he just walks you down. Like he would swing, he would miss his little right hook combo, and Canelo would slip out of there and like walk over. And Triple G just waddles back over in front of him, like literally doesn't stop. Like I kid you, like there's no other way to describe it than relentless. He just keeps coming and coming, doesn't get tired, just throws the straight jabs, everything. And it was honestly very impressive. But this is where it gets interesting because Canelo came out strong in the final 3 rounds, was throwing some combos, and actually hit him with one really, really good punch, probably the best punch of the night. But they went to a decision, and you know how it is in fighting. You don't want to leave it up to the judges, and that's what they did. And it turned out to be quite the situation, to say the least. So the first judge had it, and this is the one that's really under scrutiny.
Somebody got fired, right? Or
no, she's still going to be able to do something. I forget what happened, but she ruled it 118 to 110 Canelo, which means Canelo completely waxed Triple G, which is not the narrative at all.
Okay.
So that leads people to believe maybe she was bribed behind the scenes since Canelo's camp organized it all, blah, blah, blah. And then the next one ruled it, like 117, 114 or something like that. Something pretty close, but it ruled it Triple G. And the last guy ruled it even, which is, in my opinion, from watching the fight, it was too hard to tell a winner for sure. So split decision doesn't really matter to me, and I kind of agree with the third one the most. But yeah, that's ultimately what happened. That's a long story short. Yeah.
Do you score, if you're a boxing judge, do you score them? Let's say, I'm boxing you, and I kill it the first 5-6 rounds, but the last 4, you win. Now I won more rounds and won more of the fight, and I should win, but do they put more stock into those last few rounds?
Well, I mean, the thing with boxing is what seemed like helped Canelo is the way he was fighting. I mean, obviously it's nowhere near Floyd Mayweather like level, but he was fighting that more defensive. Yeah, he looked tired, but he was still dodging a lot of Triple G's punches and slipping and throwing counters. And the combos that he would hit Triple G with were legit combos. And it probably helped that he was close to Mexico and the crowd was definitely pro Canelo. So that kind of definitely has to filter into the judge's mind. And again, I'm not a judge, nor have I ever really boxed like that. So I don't know what constitute what on a scorecard, but as a casual fan watching it, I just thought it was too close to call. It was too even. I mean, yeah, you should have probably chose a winner just so the trilogy was that more hype. But now, what is that? That's Triple G's first, not loss, but split decision.
Yeah, his first draw.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think the next fight, it sets up nice for the next fight. If this is the plan all along, I don't blame him. I mean, boxing, but this is why we see boxing losing fans to the UFC, because this will never happen in the UFC.
Boxing, it would be nice if it was more with technology, if it was more exact. Like if the gloves had pressure sensitivity where they knew how hard of a hit it was and they knew how much contact he made against his face. I mean, all of that sounds crazy and hard to do, but I guarantee you it's very possible.
It can be done. They do it in sports science.
Yeah, all the time. And if you have this, so where you go and it's, analytical, this is what happened, then it's not, emotions don't get in the way, and it's it's
and that's what a lot of people bring in, because even if you go on social media, like it's still split down the line. A lot of people believe Canelo won, and a lot of people believe Triple G won, which makes it great for that rematch.
Right.
I don't know.
But if we had some evidence that we saw, and we could quantify it, that
he landed more punches and threw more punches than Canelo.
Yeah, but if we look on there and Canelo, like his punches had so much much more pressure. And we could, even then it would still be debatable, but at least you would know it's like, this is what happened.
And he was hitting with more of these power shots.
Right. Yeah, he made this much contact.
Honestly, when we're seeing it, we're calling certain shots power shots, but really they could just be half-heartedly throwing them.
We don't know. And nobody besides the other person knows, to be honest.
Look, Diggs, I'm going to toss it to you here in a second because obviously you watched it with me. But I do think Canelo did land the best shot of the night. For sure, without a doubt. I'll link it to you later, Justin, but he definitely snapped his head back. I mean, like, if Triple G didn't, like, he at the last second was moving away. Like, so he still got hit by it, but luckily he wasn't just like a sitting target with his head, because otherwise he might have went down from that hit. It was bad. What did you think, Diggs? You saw it.
Yeah, he definitely popped him. Well, I mean, I probably, if I had to choose, I would have went Canelo. Just because of the counter punching, the way he was dodging all the punches that Triple G was coming at him with. But like you said, I've never seen somebody just come at somebody so hard.
He didn't stop. Like, literally did not stop. Like,
that's somebody that you don't want to fight.
He does that little waddle, bro. Like, it looks like he lost a hip and got a hip replacement, and he literally just waddles back in front of you and goes back at it. Like, it's honestly unbelievable. Like, it's unbelievable. Conor McGregor should go train with him and learn how to not get gassed.
Yeah, that would be a
nice tip. So are you gonna watch? You have to watch GGG Canelo too. You have to.
I'll check it out. Yeah, I'll check this one out
because we're gonna need your novice, like me and Diggs. We're gonna need your novice knowledge of boxing.
Oh, it's very novice.
Oh, us too. You hear me over here? I don't know what I'm talking about. I play like Fight Night, and that's all I got.
All right.
So we'll move on from that. We'll leave that there. That was the biggest thing over the weekend, probably.
So wait, how much did they make, real quick, before we get off of that?
I don't personally know.
I don't know. You don't really talk numbers like that when it's Floyd involved.
Yeah, that's why. Because I'm just curious if we know the dollar.
Y'all keep some dialogue going.
You got it. So yeah, because it's. You hear, the 50, or however much, how many $1 million was it? Did Floyd make like
300, bro.
300? Okay.
Yeah, it was something crazy.
And then Conor was like right around 100, right?
Bro, only 50. All right, so this was 5 days ago, probably before. It's estimated on Forbes. And it said Oscar De La Hoya believes his fighter Canelo Alvarez will make $50 million from his fight. Wow.
Hey, 50's.
I mean, no.
Right.
It's a lot, but then
Big
you still
difference.
got to pay your training and everything.
Yeah.
But it's a complete difference from he made less than McGregor, and McGregor's not a boxer.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, boxing is just a popularity contest now, man.
Yeah. I mean, and that's also why you see the UFC win, because now it's more like a ran sport, organized sport, as opposed to the who is more famous, who flaunts their money more, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Hey, while we're on the subject of money, something that was kind of funny that I saw on Facebook, they just talked about how much NBA players really make, because you see 54 million a year. Well, for the most part, it's close to half of what, I mean, once they pay their agents and taxes, etc. It gets close to half. But one funny thing that I always thought of, and when players would live in Florida or Washington or Texas, that they didn't have to pay state tax. But in this article, they said that the NBA players actually, when they go to a place that they play
like
a
Charlotte.
game.
They come and play in
right.
Charlotte.
When they play in North Carolina, they play a game. They actually that was time they worked on that soil, and so however much their breaks down per game that they'd have to pay
so their game checks get taxed on the road.
Right, they do. So it's kind of funny when you do look at that. It's like, look at the teams that don't play, don't have so and so in their division, because that way they don't have to go travel there 3-4 times a year and pay state tax.
See. And it's interesting you bring it up. Is that NBA only?
No, that would have to be NFL. That would just have to be a law. I just didn't know that was in sports.
What that made me think of is, why do boxers fight in places? Do they get income tax for that? Right, obviously.
Right. If they fight,
so why don't they go fight in Florida now or something? I mean, obviously it's not a big market,
you would think,
or Texas, Dallas, Houston, somewhere big.
Yeah. The only thing, and this. Yeah, that would have to be it, unless it's somehow pieced together by the person or the company doing the pay-per-view. Yeah, and it was where the viewership dollars came from, but I don't think so. Yeah, I would think they would. Yeah, go to Florida.
I mean, it's definitely interesting. What Steph Curry making $34 million, so he's making only like 15.9 or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much was half. The player that got the worst end of the deal. James Harden was the best. He's in Texas. Still has to pay some taxes, but it comes out to about state tax comes out to about 2% instead of some of these places like California.
70,
yeah, way more than that. Interesting. I
mean,
I don't feel sorry for him.
It's definitely an interesting read. I mean, we can post that up on our Facebook page, Twitter, whatever.
Yeah.
Let you guys read that. We'll shift some gears here and we'll move into college football. We know we got some college football fans here. I guess we'll start
where?
Right there. Up there or wherever you are on the screen.
So, Oklahoma, I mean, we had a tune-up game against Tulane before we start Big 12 play. CD Lamb was phenomenal in the first half. You heard me talk about him. He had 2 touchdowns. Well, guess what? In the, I believe, third quarter, the ref says he came back on a crackback block. He was definitely a defenseless player that he hit, but they called him for targeting and ejected him.
So it was in the first half?
No, it was in the second quarter. That's right, because he doesn't have to sit out the next game. But he had 2. He was amazing for the little bit we got to watch him. So check out for him, or look out for him in Big 12 play. Sooners, I mean, we kind of started out slow. Defense got it together, and we started putting in work.
Yeah, it's a trap game, basically.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we'll move to the bigger game, the big one of the weekend, which was Clemson and Lamar Jackson, Louisville Lamar Jacksons. Really, what we saw was Clemson showing why it's the best defense in college football. Dabo Swinney is the best coach in college football outside of Saban.
Can we give Britt Venables credit?
I mean, yeah.
Best defense.
I mean, he's the defensive coordinator.
The defense has been great since Venables has been there, and he was great at OU. I don't know why we got rid of him, but he's a defensive mind, man. He's really good.
I mean, clearly, he slows down Lamar Jackson both times they play. I mean, Lamar almost came back last year, but
and he does it with pressure too. Sometimes.
What's crazy is Clemson, even with Kelly Bryant, or not, what was that his name? Kelly Bryant?
Yeah, the quarterback. Yeah. Kelly Bryant.
He looks fine. It looks like they haven't missed a beat.
No, he looks good. That's what we're about to say.
Maybe against Auburn, he was a little shaky, the offense as a whole. But other than that, like against Louisville, I mean, their defense isn't anything really. Yeah. But
he threw the ball really well.
His deep ball is on point. I will give him that.
Yeah, as far as throwing the ball, it has to, if he keeps progressing and doing well, they won't miss a beat. Because Deshaun Watson's not just I mean, he's a decent arm, but not known for his arm.
I think I don't know. I don't think it just hurts Lamar Jackson's Heisman.
He still put up decent numbers.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
317 yards.
So like he'll still be fine in the grand scheme of it. I mean, Clemson just shows why they're the best team in the ACC and probably going to go on to play at least in the championship game. I mean, they're definitely going to be in the playoff, barring utter collapse. That defense can carry them at least. Outside of that, I think there's nobody else in the ACC. I mean, obviously, Francois is dead. That's my way to describe injuries. He died on the field. Maybe Miami, but nobody else can really contend with them.
That's the thing about Clemson.
A big game I saw. Not really big, but at least had a big name player, and that's UCLA versus Memphis. Right. And I think the biggest winner of this,
wide receiver.
Well, yeah, the wide receiver from Memphis was ridiculous. Yeah. That guy is wow. He honestly he put a name for himself. Like that's going to be on his tape for the drafts and everything. But Riley Ferguson, their QB, I think he's like a redshirt junior now.
Yeah.
But he went to a high school down the street here. Went to Tennessee originally, then they fired the coach that recruited him, and Butch Jones said, "I don't want you," basically.
That's so he
went. Yeah, he went to UNCC for a year, and then transferred there to Memphis.
Nice.
And he honestly outdueled Josh Rosen. Yeah. He threw 6 touchdowns. Maybe he threw for about 80 yards less. He had 398 or 498, something like that, and 6 touchdowns and 1 pick. While Josh Rosen was trying to lead his team down the field to victory, to glory, and he threw one of the dumbest picks of the year.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
I heard about that. I didn't get to see the pick, but I watched it.
It was, I mean, the pressure came off the edge. He didn't see it, and it was in his face, and he tried to throw off his back foot. Receiver ran a streak, and he thought it was a curl, and he threw it right to the DB for a pick 6.
Rosen reminds me a lot of Goff. These California.
Oh, they're the same. Yeah. They literally look like the same kind of quarterback. But there's the problems with Rosen, which at least a lot of scouts say, and what you'll hear more and more as draft rolls around is, does he love football? Is one thing I always hear with him. And I mean, I don't really know what that means because he can still be a really good quarterback and not love football, obviously. But it makes you wonder, is he just out there because he's better than the people now? And when he gets to the NFL, he's not going to take it seriously?
No, I don't know. When they say, does he love football, I think of the people that just have the natural talent that 100% carries them.
Yeah.
But like a guy like Rosen, I don't see him as quarterbacks. There can be fast quarterbacks, but they don't have great arms. But quarterbacks they start developing early.
Yeah.
You have to work on your arm strength.
Reading coverages.
At least through high school. So I just don't really get that. I think.
I mean, he's already put too much time in it to not love it.
Right.
Basically.
Yeah, I think he's put in way too much time.
Well, I mean, you look at the Sua Craven situation. I mean,
that's true.
I'm sure that's what's in the back of everybody's mind. It's like I think when you get to the professional level, you have to love what you do in order to survive in there.
Yeah, or in order to stay above the status quo and
right. And being a quarterback, I know they're going to require a lot more out of you. So
right. Yeah, I could definitely see that, I guess.
Another game, or at least a team that's interesting to watch now, is Mississippi State. Are they back? They beat LSU handily, and now they're up to 17th in the country, and they'll be taking on Georgia, which is 11th in the country this weekend at 7. Honestly, I don't know is it Dan Mullen is the coach? Is that who it is?
Yes, Mississippi State.
Yes, the Tim Tebow, Dak Prescott guru. They look really, really good. They got a defense as always, and now they have. I don't know, the way they handled LSU. If you can watch the highlights, it really showed you something that this team could be for real. I mean, obviously they probably won't beat Alabama, but they are definitely the second best team in the SEC. Probably, whoever wins this game between Georgia and them will be the second best team, in my opinion. Because Tennessee's got to fire Butch Jones.
Yeah,
he can recruit, but he can't win games.
Yeah, they just lost one like a pretty easy game, I thought, for them.
Well, they just lost to Florida
on a Hail Mary.
Yeah. But Florida has nobody on offense.
But Tennessee's usually on the other end of that.
Yeah, exactly.
As of late.
Yeah, they did it to Georgia last year, so it sucked. But other than that, I mean, college football. I mean, they just had one big game, really. What's this, Clemson, Louisville?
The SC and
Alabama.
Texas game.
Yeah, USC. Texas.
Yeah, but that's more off a name, in my opinion.
Oh no,
it ended up being a good game.
Yeah, it ended up being a good game.
It was definitely one of the best games because you had I believe true freshman QB for Texas came in, and
he came in for Bichelle or whatever.
I get when I watched the second half and he was already in, so I don't know if Bichelle got hurt or what. I want to say Bobby or Boucher.
Was he more of like a running QB than he?
Dude, he had some speed. He got picked up some yards with his feet. He was bigger and thicker. Ran a few people over, and his arm. He made some great throws. I was really impressed with how he was able to conduct himself in the late stages of that game. But Darnold, getting back to what I said earlier, he was very impressive because as soon as they needed a touchdown in the clutch, guess what? He leads them right downfield. Actually gets them. I guess a field goal to take it into overtime, and then they got a touchdown in OT. So yeah, he was great.
And that's the one thing Sam Darnold has going for him is he performs when it matters.
Yeah,
so,
that's all you got to do.
We saw it last year against Penn State.
Yeah,
and I mean he's just continuing it. But my one thing with him is I don't think he really has the arm talent of most QBs.
Yeah,
He makes the right decisions and reads, but
like a Matt Pennington from Marshall when he was New York Jets.
Chad
Pennington, not Matt.
Don't disrespect the legend, the Jets legend.
But every time I would watch an NFL game when he would play, I would say, man, I could be in the NFL. Like, I have as much arm strength as Matt Payton.
But that's also because he always, literally, I swear, every single year tore his rotator cuff.
Yeah. Oh, his shoulder was just like he was playing with nothing there.
Yeah. Which is crazy, just to go back to the NFL, is Cam Newton and Andrew Luck had the same surgery, and Cam Newton's playing and Andrew Luck's not. And didn't they have it around the same-ish time, or did Andrew Luck wait too long?
I think Luck waited a little longer.
Yeah, Cam had it in May, I believe, or March, one of those two, and fixed it. But
was it Dwayne Blair? Plays basketball with no ACLs.
Yeah, Dwayne
Blair. Yeah. Do you know a white person that plays basketball with no ACLs? No. We can't. We gotta have our ACLs, but that might be the
jump with them.
That might be we can't even jump with them. That might be your answer on why Cam Newton's back and Andrew Luck is not.
Well, yeah, Cam's a freak. I mean, Andrew Luck's a freak as well. But do you think the Colts should trade Andrew Luck? I'll leave it with that before we go to Top Hat. Do you think that the Colts should just completely blow up that team? Because I mean, even next year with Andrew Luck, they're not going to do anything.
If I'm Andrew Luck, I want to get.
That's what I'm saying. I want to get out of there.
Yeah, sorry.
They have no weapons. Yeah, we're sorry, Diggs, honestly, but
they have weapons.
Is Frank Gore still there running?
Yeah, the fossil.
Well, we've got Marlon Mack looks pretty well, and
Marlon Mack will not be a name in this league in 2 years.
Well, maybe we don't know. Our offensive line is trash and injured on top of that.
So is how's Moncrief and Ty doing?
Well, they played decent last game because we had somebody that could actually throw them the ball without it getting picked off. But so we just have to wait and see now. So
yeah. Well, I mean, I wish you guys the best of luck. I think my Panthers are in a good situation for the future.
Was that a play on words?
Oh, I didn't even realize. Look, don't call me a rapper. Well, we'll get in the Top Hat now. We'll end this show on a bang. What you got for us, Dig? Shuffle it up.
All right.
Shuffle it up.
Oh, yeah, this one. This is kind of disturbing, actually. Lindale White, he said he had like 20 to 30 concussions in his career. And his career was short.
Yeah. Well, I mean, did you see how he ran?
Yeah.
I mean, he was literally back to Chris Johnson, so.
Sometimes it looked like he was a turtle. His like a helmet was inside his shoulder pad, like that. And maybe it really was. It was like,
me personally, I don't have any sympathy for football players when it comes to concussions because, especially these days, maybe when he played, it wasn't the focus, obviously. But these days, if you're gonna play football and they not that he is complaining, but worry about concussions, then I mean, it's just nullified to me because you have no. I mean, you know what you signed up for. You're making millions of dollars. There's literally millions and hundreds of millions of people who would want to be traded with you and will take those concussions for that millions of dollars. I mean, obviously it comes down to personal health and what you feel, but if you sign that contract and make that much money, you know that you have the possibility to get a concussion. You got to get over it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and I always felt that way. Like even before the CTE stuff came out, I'm like, come on, it's common sense. You can't be banging heads like that. If something's going to happen,
we're not Rams.
Yeah,
I'm with you though. Concussions are more of the mom on Facebook who sees everything and then takes that out of proportion. The ones who went and bought all the water from the stores when the hurricanes were coming, but the hurricane didn't even hit. You know what I mean? Like the Walmart by my house and the Earth Fair and the Harris Teeter had no water in Charlotte, North Carolina. And all we did was have a day of rain. That was it. No flooding, no nothing. Just rain. and people stocked up because Facebook told them to. And that's what concussions is. Yeah.
Yeah, but it is that way. But I've said this several episodes ago. The NFL is still going to have good players, but there's going to be a lot, some really good players that don't get to play football because of all this stuff coming out.
But at the same time, there's players who make it to the league now who have never played a down of football in their life, and they end up playing tight end. You know what I mean? And they're good players. So
I mean, that's one position that there's some positions that you just have to have some. You got to start playing at least in high school to be.
But I think that's where we'll see more players start to play, because once you get mature enough, you're like, yo, I want to play that. For the most part, most competent parents will say, okay, at least once you're a sophomore or something.
Yeah.
Because, I mean,
I don't know. We'll
at that point, then they're hindering you. If that's something you want to do, that's bad parenting, in my opinion.
Yeah, but then your mom's gonna be like, "You want to go kill yourself, getting all these concussions?" And
I'll say,
I ain't gonna do that.
I'll say, let me limit it to 5 or 3 or something,
and then I'll quit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, maybe there should be like if you could somehow
medically
keep track of concussions, then that might be a practice. Like you can't pass X threshold,
right,
or you're done. You can never play again.
I feel that. Hey, we should submit that to the league.
Where's Goodell's email? Hold on.
Oh, you got it over there somewhere in your BlackBerry. What's next, Diggs? Last one.
No, I think we can do one more after that. We'll see what the time's looking like. But the Jets got upset about Marshawn Lynch's dance. I thought it was amazing. Like he was just having a great time.
Yeah, he wasn't even being disrespectful to the Jets.
Yeah, what was his dance that they were mad at again?
He was just dancing like on the sideline.
Wasn't even dancing, he was just moving around, bro.
No. I saw some pretty good dances. I'll touch on Marshawn Lynch's, but did you see? Was it Freeman that scored and did like the fadeaway J, or who was that? It was like a fadeaway 3-pointer. He had the lineman holding the basket for him.
No, I didn't see it.
Oh my gosh, dude! I gotta find this.
I saw Juju Smith-Schuster with the alley craps. That was a good one. I don't know. We'll see more and more. I feel like like I said earlier, the NFL has been very lackluster in scoring and individual performances, in my opinion. But maybe that's just being early, knocking off the rust, getting back into the groove of things. But we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I just didn't see.
I don't think they should be upset. No.
Yeah, like it wasn't even like it was after a touchdown or nothing. It was during the timeout. He's at home. He's from Oakland.
Right.
Like he was just having a great time, just playing music. He wanted to dance.
If you're so upset, don't play for the Jets. Or make the Jets good. Like what all he did was he wasn't being disrespectful to y'all. He was dancing, literally having fun.
Yeah. I mean, y'all are openly tanking, so like I don't want to hear it. All right.
Let me see. Who was? Yeah. Keep going. I'm gonna find this dance.
All right. Chris, you brought this one to our attention. The CFL ban on full contact practice.
Yeah, an immediate ban too, which is kind of crazy. No, I don't think this is a good idea because you need, I mean, especially when you play on like an offensive line or something, like you're not going to have, you need to practice the leverage, you know what I'm saying, everything with pad, like you use your weight as a lineman. You don't just, it's not all technique at the same time. Like I get it, I guess, for safety, but I feel like this will bring down level of play, especially if you're a running coach.
I don't think it necessarily, maybe the running game suffers a little bit, but I think it increases, we were talking about this yesterday, I think it increases injuries just because, like, if you look at UFC fighters and they're, on their calf muscle or the shins of their calves, and like, so there's certain areas that are like hardened from the contact, and so some of your body needs to be conditioned for going out and hitting people, and no better way to do it in a slower paced practice with those pads on. I don't know. So
I mean, I agree with you.
Yeah, so I gotta agree on that there should be some,
because if you think about it, ever since practice has kind of been limited since the new CBAs recently, I feel like we see, I mean, maybe I'm just a kid and was more naive and not knowing about injuries, but I swear these days you see more and more ACL tears and things of that nature than you had before.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I was just talking to Justin about that last night.
And we were talking about the weight of the pads, if they go without pads for so many days longer than they used to. Like, I was telling Diggs, I played basketball one time with a 20-pound weight vest on. It felt like I was 100 pounds heavier. I could not do anything. And so if you just take your pads off, it's like, okay, this is probably good for us. But if we are playing, starting to play games, regular or preseason games right after that, my body needs to be conditioned for that.
Yeah, you know how bad a helmet to the arms are going to hurt when you don't use them anymore?
Right. And so all of this stuff, man, I think you have to have
I think it's more
with
the companies are trying to get too public friendly, you know what I mean? Trying to cater to the like I said, the moms on Facebook, the whatever. When us real fans, we don't care. All right? Yeah. Like if the players really want to not practice, then okay, I guess. But practice is
But
you need to practice.
All defensive players, they want contact every practice.
Exactly. Yeah.
Offensive players, no, they never want contact. Just like, let's go with that. Maybe except for the old linemen.
So I don't know. Yeah.
We'll see what's up.
But that was the third one, right? That was it?
Yeah, that's it.
Woo! We're done.
We're done.
The OG trio knocks it out again in under an hour. That's what we do. All right.
That's how we do.
We're the fast squad.
We don't have Jarris taking up all this time talking Redskins smack. Although I give them credit, they got the running game together and they actually look pretty good.
They look decent.
Yeah.
They played the
decent.
Yeah. Now I thought I will give them a pretty good grade. Cousins really didn't do a lot,
game managed.
He game managed. You're right.
So I don't know. We'll see how they look this next week. All right.
Yeah, this is a test for them.
Right.
Next week.
So next week is what, episode 23, the LeBron episode.
You should have known.
You dubbed this episode. It's either me or Diggs. There's no way you can dub it LeBron.
No, I did it. I was hosting.
You should have done that number 6. He's number 6, right?
He's 23.
He's 23.
Come on, dude.
Damn, Justin.
That's what he copped out and went to Miami. He was number 6. That's right.
Hey, man, what is KD? Whoa. We didn't talk about KD making fake Twitter accounts.
He's trolling on Twitter. It's like, what are you doing all day with your time?
Yeah, with fake accounts. Bobby Bo Jackson, whatever you want to name it. Trying to give yourself hypeness, defend yourself through that. Like, come on, bro. First you made the shoes. Now you made this. You're emotional, and it's okay.
Yeah, he is.
It's okay.
Dude, here's what's going to happen to KD. Something's going to happen, and he's going to sustain an injury, and he's not going to, this might be later on in his career. I don't want to wish injury upon him. But let's just say he's 35 years old, and he gets injured in Golden State or wherever, and he's not going to be the same, and he knows it. He's gonna come back to, like, an Oklahoma City. Because, I mean, that's, like, he's inside feels so bad about what he did, and that's why he's what he's doing. And we would probably take him back, to be totally honest. After all that time, it's like, we hated you, but it's like one of those relationships,
Cleveland handled it way worse with LeBron than y'all did with KD.
Right.
And they welcomed him back with open arms.
Oh, yeah. So it'd be the same thing,
But y'all won't have a rust there or anything, so he probably won't go back. I think KD's already, I don't know. He's sold out, cupcaking his way around. Yeah,
he'll have like 5.
He sold his soul to the devil of the NBA, and we'll leave it there. Next week, episode 23, the LeBron James episode,
Frank Gore episode.
Wow. Frank Gore's 20. Well,
Gore episode.
Frank Gore.
Whatever. We'll see you guys next time. Tune in next week. I don't know how long the break is. Peace.